Hello. How are we all today? Do I have my seat set correctly? Hang on. Aha, I did not. There we go. That's slightly more comfortable. Hello. How is everyone today? Hello, Rupert and Alex, the only two who have said hello so far. Even though Alex didn't say hello. Rupert and Rupert said hello, but Rupert and Rupert are the same Rupert, so... So be it. So today we're going to finish up silage, for now at least. And by which I mean we're going to finish field 5. Time for another day of stream? I know. Bad already? What? Wait, did we finish field 5? If we finished field 5, I'm just gonna launch straight into harvesting. Hey Brendan, did we finish field 5 yesterday? Because I was under the impression we still had field 5 to do. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, think I finished it. Hey, Chunky. I finished field 5 yesterday. Okay. You stay there. Because that'll annoy people. And I approve. In fact, you stay there. Let's get the equipment people like out. Including something that will annoy people, which I always approve of. Hey, Spudman. How's it going today, dude? You've cremated some onion rings. What did the onion rings ever do to you, Alex? To deserve cremation. Good grief. That's like something I'd do, except I don't like onion rings, so I tend not to cook them. Bring back Minty. That is tempting. You have no idea how tempting that is. Right, where's the harvester that isn't the art project? There we go. You have the wrong header on, harvester. Rip onion rings, you would have been nice with some ketchup. I mean, I don't like onion rings, but I don't like onions in general, so... Right. I maybe should wash the combine at some point. Or just leave it out in the rain. One of the two. Maybe even both. Wash it while it's raining. When you broke the oven door, was onion rings cooking, so you think it's to do with the onion rings? GG. Right, let's get all of the warning lights on the go, because this is big and I'm incompetent. So people will need warnings. So the plan is now we're going to harvest the canola because field 3 is apparently ready to go. And if we're really lucky, we'll get a great demand. Doubt we will, but I mean, there's always the small chance. He broke the oven door. Yeah, he broke the oven door a couple of weeks ago, Brendan. You just accept things that Alex is broken now. I forgot this thing was hella slow. It sort of came off again. So what you're saying is you've broken the oven door a second time. While cremating onion rings. Did it occur to you, Alex, that maybe you just shouldn't cook? Like, I've done some particularly stupid things while cooking, but I've never managed to break an oven door twice. I'm just looking here. It looks like the bits that are dead were the bits that had weeds in that I couldn't deal with. Technically, it was never fixed. Technically, you broke it twice. So, totally legitimate farming methods. Is he gonna get stuck on the thing? No, he passes by that pretty okay. There we go. Good job you're not doing food tech for GCSE. If you were, you would have failed because you'd have broken the entire kitchen by now. Marvel Seasons update dropped earlier. 6-meter horse cedar which got removed. Oh. Didn't know about the mod removal. Alright, let's get that going, and we can harvest the canola. We can canola the harvest. Fantastico. And because it's canola, we can just do the circle harvest because it's canola. We don't need to worry about dropping swaths. It was up 10 minutes, then got removed. Wow. They give you a pass just to get you out of there. I mean, that's also a possibility. A pass through incompetence is still a pass. I have sat beside me, by the way, a delicious cup of tea in the best mug that I have. Oh my god! The mug is so brightly illuminated, everything else is now black. In the best mug that I have, shieldtastically, which has my logo on it. Deb Oakley 1907, thank you very much for the follow over on Twitch. Hope you enjoy the stream. Do we know why it got removed? Mug? It's travel mug, Alex. Like, genuinely, like, recommend the travel mugs from Spreadshirt. You pay a bit of a premium. Sure, the prices may be a bit much, but it's a quality travel mug. It genuinely is. That's going to be my second cup of tea in it today. And I ended up having a third cup in it yesterday. So. Smooth. It's metal, so I mean it holds heat fairly well. No idea why it got removed. I wonder if we'll ever find out why the horse cedar got removed. Maybe it wasn't supposed to go up today. Maybe it got accidentally put up instead of tested. Would be my potential guess, or the modder asked for it to be taken out of testing, but it already passed and was due to go up today regardless, and then they realised what happened and took it down. ALCL WID Alkylwid, unpronounceable bunch of letters. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. I know not how to pronounce ALCLWYD as a word, but I am sure there is a language in which that is acceptable. Also, potentially Scrabble. I mean, pretty much anything goes in Scrabble. I even once made an argument for bang with a P to be acceptable as a word in Scrabble. By using the sillet bang thing, but with a P at the start. Pa-bang! And the dirt is gone! You have a mug with a not to be moved sign on that they use on trains. I mean, that works too. Novelty mugs are best mugs. I have sat beside me a Darth Vader. I have, like, on the on my chest of drawers that I also use the top of for storage, a Darth Vader mug. I think there's a Stormtrooper mug, a Star Wars heat sensitive mug, a QI mug, and another mug that I can't remember. I am a fan of novelty mugs. Also mugs in general, because tea can be put into mug, and tea is delicious. Everyone has a collection of mugs. Yes, but these are mugs that are still in the boxes, Alex. Because we have a quite large, significant mug collection in the kitchen, and there's no space for all my mugs. And that massive Sports Direct mug. I don't have that massive Sports Direct mug, because there's not really a Sports Direct in Ireland. Although my sister always buys from them, and she has not bought the massive Sports Direct mug yet. Let's pop that out. I'm wondering if the trailer will be able to pass under this, to be honest. Because if you remember, it's got the silage sides on. This is going to be an interesting experiment. Also, I'm leaving my tea cool a bit because upside of travel mug keeps tea hot. Downside of travel mug, tea is unbearably hot for too long. And I made it just before the stream, so it's still probably in the unbearably hot region of tea. Let's get that spun in. There we go. How hot is the mug? Okay, yeah, that tea's going to be unbearably hot because the mug is still... barely tolerable. Don't let the Sports Direct mug fall. I have broken 2 mugs in the past year because they both fell and they both landed square on the handle and the handles just snapped off. And I was frustrated. I also had one of those, like, lightning plasma ball things. But when I was tidying my room, I think in December, it fell and smashed, and I was sad. And I've not got a replacement yet. I do want to try and get a replacement. Because I like those. They're novelty and fun. Although I don't actually have a space for it, so it's probably not the worst thing in the world that it's broken and dead. And being thrown out in the garbage. You have to resolder the thing on your guitar and it's complicated. What you need to do, Alex, is listen to Complicated by Alanis Morissette. And that will explain to you how to resolder a thing on guitar. If you are crazy. It reminds you ooh, story time. Story time with Alex. I may have moved the header trailer slightly, and it may or may not now be causing a bit of a traffic problem. I mean, sucks to be the AI. I don't care, you guys call me, you lot cause me enough problems on a daily basis. It's about time I caused you some. Neener, 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 neener. I'm wondering if going up and down might actually be the better option for this field. And I'm thinking yes, because the combine's basically full already. Step. Get me John Deere. Away we go. Straight into the gate at a funky angle. Wonderful. So there are 2 people in school who are soldering stuff. I asked how you know if it's warm enough. The other jokingly said lick it and see, and oh god. Why? Wait, was it lead-based solder or that horrible non-lead stuff that they now insist on using because lead is apparently dangerous in solder? Is it tin or silver they now use in solder that isn't as good as lead and it often just screws up your solder joints? Ha! That was hot. Okay, tea is still too hot. Tea, that was not... Ow. It fits, kind of. Not sure. Okay. what I can do in the meantime is check on the cows. The cows have been checked. Most guitars use lead. Most commercial stuff now is non-leaded. Why did the news sound thing just play? Oh. Because I just got news. Thank you for letting me know. Oh my god. That was from my phone, Alex. I didn't actually hear it, which is slightly odd. Usually I hear it. No, that was a BBC News app on my phone telling me there was news. Let's back this up. 2002 guitar, I don't know. Genuinely don't know. There we go. Let's get this field harvested. I'll put the pipe in so not everybody gets annoyed. I'm sure people will still find problems with my harvesting methods, though. They always do. I don't know about a 2002. I know that lead and solder is, like, not used in industry much anymore. Hey, Fiat. The air installation is done. Oh, was that Foxtrot? You think it's beyond me to have two of the same combine? Because I've done something incredibly silly with one and find it so funny it needs to be kept in place? No, 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 no. I straight up have two of the same combine on this map. Exactly, Foxtrot. I bought a new combine so that I could keep the air combine. Mad About Cars 2000, thank you very much for the follow over on Twitch. Hope you enjoy, and feel free to say hi in chat. I know the chat is like almost all YouTube, but Twitch chat is coming through as well. You thought it was... Did you genuinely think it was beyond me, Foxtrot, to not, like, to buy a second combine because one was in a hilarious position that I genuinely enjoy? Because, I mean, if that's the case, then you clearly haven't been watching long enough. It fell down. I mean, the only way the art combine is getting moved is if it gets knocked. Thought I might have had some sense for... I mean... You vastly overestimate my logic. One of the local Alex, what the hell is wrong where you live? One of the primary schools has coronavirus, one has asbestos. I would be very concerned about living anywhere near you. Because everything seems to be going wrong there. Like, if I were you, I'd be very concerned about, like, building standards and healthcare standards in your area. Because that school is closed because one of the parents has coronavirus. That's near Alex. Hello, Liam. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody is. I always hope everybody's doing well. I don't like hearing people doing badly. But then again, the bad has to come in life as well, so... You just live with it. Yeah, the way to... Yeah! That's true. So if you're looking for places to live, As far away from Alex as humanly possible is strongly advised. Because nothing near him is working, ever. How come? Alright, I have to ask this question. How come it suddenly looks like I'm vaguely competent with the combine? Like, I'm getting good passes that are almost perfectly straight lines. I'm slightly concerned. Because I was good with the mower as well, and... like, that's not me. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. I'm too competent. I'm slightly concerned. Asbestos is only really dangerous if it's distributed. About 70% of old houses will have asbestos in them somewhere. It's only truly dangerous if it actually becomes airborne. Like, if you somehow disturb the asbestos and it becomes airborne, that's when it's dangerous. I've been distracted with your incidents. Possibly. Maybe I've got coronavirus and it's made me vaguely competent at stuff. Then again, I've also been, like, doing a lot of work and stuff, so my brain is like, hey, you're chilling out for once. Thank you. I will be competent now. Let us be competent together for once. Just casually using a hedge as a turning vane. And there's the A380. Speaking of Airbuses, the A320 I used the other day has got an update from Flight Factor, apparently, so I might give that a look-see. It's not an official update, it's a beta update, so I might have a look-see at it at some point over the weekend, but I do want to try and get a lot of work done, so I might not. And I need to rejig the server. Oh, Alex, I have a request for you, if you have time. Could you look at the Polish map that came out today that's set in the 90s? Because that looks to be about the perfect aesthetic for what I would like as the Eastern European map on the server. I do notice some water. You got time? Sweet. Yeah, could you have a look? Because if the water's undrownable, then I'm kind of fine with it. Because most of the Eastern European stuff I would like is like mid-90s anyway, so having a 90s aesthetic map would be kind of cool. I'd play it. Can you use landscaping tools to fill in the water? No, annoyingly. It throws a hissy fit if you try and fill in water. I'd have to take the map into GE, in which case I wouldn't be able to deal with it. It's just a pond for something, it can always be filled in. I mean, we could always do some shenanigans with it to fill it. It's literally just a case of how deep is the water. If it's undrownable, then I'm fine with it. So, be an idiot and drive some stuff into the water on that map and see what happens. Does kind of look like I will actually be able to work what field is it? Field 2 for some silage as well today, which is going to be nice. So the title isn't a complete lie, because I was anticipating field 5 being worked a bit. But field 2 will work too. If we get all the canola harvested, which it's looking increasingly like we will. Abojeg, Agri-Farm. We can talk about that tomorrow, Alex. Throw it into the admin room and... Because I'm leaving the admins mostly decide what map we're going on. You're playing that Bavarian map that's on the ModHub. It's too clean, look clinically clean. You like it to look like... That's the problem. That's my problem with a lot of German maps, is they're clinically tidy, and it's like, no, this isn't a map. This isn't a farm. This is somebody's toy pen that they've kept like insanely tidy because they've got OCD. Hello, Keen. I'm gonna move the trailer because it's kind of annoying seeing a line of AI vehicles on the side of the road. So look, you could have just nudged it and it'd be fine. Look, see, I've fixed it now. See, problem gone. Get out of my way. Excuse me, sir, could you let me go, please? Need it to be scrapped and rubbish in the yard. So do I. I need it to look lived in. I don't want a perfectly tidy toy town as a map. It's just it's not believable. Like I know that I'm quite picky with maps, but perfectly tidy toy town is not the kind of map that I like. Great time to join. I mean, it was kind of inevitable, Matt. Let's be honest, it was inevitable that I'd do something incredibly stupid and end up on my side somewhere. Just didn't think it'd be, you know, riding a car down the road. Also, hello. Hello, SG. How goes it? How's it going today, SG? Simulator Gaming is going on a holiday in like June or July. Can't be like you come with me. Yeah, pretty much. I'm doing pretty good. I haven't got anywhere near as much as I wanted done, so I'll probably be sitting here for most of the night doing work. But I'm in a good mood and I'm feeling productive, so 2 good bonuses. Hey, the Scots, how's it going? Yeah, I've only got like a page of notes written today, and I really wanted to be up around the 5 or 6 region, so... First time flying in years, you're looking forward to it. It'll be a 732, you run 7.3s. It'll be one of those. To get to Palma de Mallorca. Source, I've been to Palma de Mallorca and we flew 7.3. You won't be on the pencil plane, unfortunately. Or one of the more interesting planes we have. What notes am I doing? I'm writing up notes for the Science channel for a video that I want to work on. Hence why I've not put a timetable on Science channel videos, is because I'm... Hang on. These are reference notes. This quite large stack of papers is reference notes. that are going to be useful for pretty much everything. For the cruise, it'll be the 7.3 or 7.5. It'll be 7.3 to Palma. 7.5 would be for, like... That 90s map looks really nice. It does, that's why I'm interested in it, Alex. Is the water drownable? That's my only concern with it. Because that, like, it looks beautiful. It fits my Eastern European map idea perfectly. Because we can bring in some really cool equipment onto a 90s style map. And pretty much everything on the mod hub is that is Eastern European is 90s. Never even did 2ED cruises. Neither did I, actually, but it makes sense. So you'd only really be going on a 7.5 if there are enough people going on the cruise to justify the added, I think, 30 or 40 seats that a 7.5 has. It's not really much. In fact, it's so little that it wouldn't make much of a difference. 7.5 would probably be used for, like, going out to the Canaries or something. Or maybe it would be really pushing the limits of range, but maybe you could get to the Caribbean in a 7.5? Or out to like, Greece. Don't think it'll just be cruise people on the flight. Yeah, the problem is the 7.5 doesn't have enough extra seats to justify replacing a 7.3 when there's a flight in the range of the 7.3. I mean, if the Max was flying, that would replace the 7.5 immediately, because it's got roughly the same range as a 7.5, and a bit, actually slightly more seating. So, I wouldn't anticipate you going on a 757 out to Palma de Mallorca. But I could be wrong. Actually have a look on Flight Radar, and see what they see what TUI fly out there, or in fact use Project Fly. Presuming you'd be going from Manchester, so EGCC to LEPL. And see what TUI use for the route. Manchester, yeah. Then put it into Project Fly. Palma is LEPL. Because remember, it tells you any planes that are on the route, so if they do have a 7.5 on that route, it'll tell you. Won't tell you what days it flies, but it'll tell you that it's on the route. LEPA. I want to say it's LEPL. And I'm not going to tab out and bring up... I really should get the Navigraph up on my phone now that I think about it. LEPA. Oh, okay. What's LEPL then? What's about? What have you done? In before bloomin' Flybe bring a Dash 8 out that far. Don't think it's actually in the range. According to P-Fly, it's EasyJet, Jet2 and Ryanair. Ah, TUIs are charters. TUIs are seasonal charters at that. Is there a way to look that up? I mean, Jet2 have 7.5s, I believe. So they'd be the easiest one to go off. LEPL. Oh, I must have made that up there in my head. Oops. Jet 2 have some 7.5s, or at least did, so I'd imagine like what they fly is similar to what TUI would fly. Ryanair obviously 7.3s only. EasyJet obviously A320 series only. I'd imagine for that route they'd use a 321 though, because 321 has added seats compared to the 320. And definitely a 319 would be too small. Tell me how correct I am for EasyJet, because 7.3 for Jet 2, yeah. EasyJet I'm curious about, because they've got different planes for basically how many passengers they can fit on, or how popular the route is. So I'd imagine Palma would get a 321. You meant to be flying to Alicante in July for a fortnight of holidays. Very nice, Foxtrot. That'd be like a 737 or an A320 for sure, Alicante. You could even, I guess, get there in an Embraer, but you've 100% been on a 7.5 at Jet 2 for Palma. I've only ever been on, like, technically 4 aircraft types. Although you could argue 7.3s. I've been on 737-800s, but I was on the old gen NGs, so you could argue that's 2 different types. I've been on an A320, an E170, it might have been a 175, but an E170 series, and an E190 series. And that's like all 4 plane types that I've flown on, ever. And I've flown quite a bit. It's just that pretty much all of my flying has been to the UK or Spain or France, Netherlands or Germany. You know, an hour and a half, 2 hour short hops, so there's been no justification for anything bigger. Which I'm perfectly fine with, honestly. I kind of prefer the single aisle narrow bodies. Yeah, Emirates plane? Are they getting a new paint job? Or are they getting A350 1000s? What's my favorite tractors? Massey 135 and the Fergie TE20. And I guess the Model A John Deere. I am quite partial to the old Model A John Deere. I like old tractors. You wanted to go? Oh god, I wouldn't want to go on an A340. You think a new plane? Well, if it's a new plane, it's likely to be... I know they've got an order in for 777X, but that's not through testing yet. So it must be A350s. Do I like the TM series? I do, actually. They're quite nice tractors. I am not a farmer in real life, James, so I just go purely off looks. So, like, my favorite brand is Class, because they look pretty. The TMs I see quite frequently around here. So I'm kind of partial. I'm partial to what I see. Quite honestly, when it comes to farm sim, because I see it in real life. I want to use it. T-Cruise, you don't have to wait to collect baggage at the airport. Ah, very nice. What's really nice, SG, I don't know, you think it's a double-decker? They're not getting a new A380. Oh, that might be, actually. I think, yeah, Airbus are building the last few A380s still. Have I ever seen a Ford 7810? Plenty. They're fairly common in the area I'm in. Like old 90s Fords, 80s Fords, fairly common. My town's very agricultural, so I mean, tractors aren't something that are rare here. That's interesting. Have you ever been on, like, been through connecting flights, SG? Where you fly into one airport to get another plane to another airport? Because what's really fun and useful and convenient and just so relaxing is the fact that if you're on connecting flights, you send off your baggage in your departure airport initially, and you don't need to touch it again until you arrive at your final destination. It's so nice. Like the time I went over to Germany, because both flights were connectors, I was sat in Charles de Gaulle for 4 hours with just my hand luggage. And I didn't have to worry about lugging a bag around or anything like that. So it was so relaxing, just not needing to worry, because I'd like... Granted, I was stuck in the departure area, so I mean, I had to try and find food, and you got airport prices, French airport prices at that, so it was quite expensive. But I mean, I ate vegan food, which, considering one of my all of my favorite foods are meat-based, is kind of impressive in itself that I ate something that was vegan and organic. And delicious, actually, I must admit. But it's was it vegan or was it just organic? It was one of the it might have been both, but I know it was definitely organic. May or may not have been vegan. Oh, no. One of the things I had meat in. The other was like vegan pasta, and it was absolutely delicious. Found a hot dog and burger place at Helsinki Airport. Ended up with two big hot dogs and a burger. 10 out of 10. Don't regret. There's a place in Newcastle Airport. At least there used to be. I don't know if it's still there, but if ever you're flying through Newcastle, when you go into departures, there was/is a gastropub on the right immediately when you go into departures. They had the best burgers. Like, every time I was flying out of Newcastle when I was in college, in uni, I legitimately like, okay, I'm going to have my burger now, because you got this huge, massive, definite quarter pounder that was all held together with a toothpick, because it was so stacked with meat and general food, and then these massive chunky chips, and it was so well cooked every time, and it was just yes. So I genuinely enjoyed flying out of Newcastle, and then because I was flying late at night, it was kind of inevitable that the plane would get delayed, so I'd go to the arcade for a bit and play some arcade games, and then find one of those like £1 for 5-minute massage chairs and chill out on that to break my stress. No, Newcastle upon Tyne. There is an amazing, at least was an amazing restaurant there. But if ever you're in an airport and you're feeling a bit stressed, find one of those massage chairs. It's like £1 or €1 for a couple of minutes. I guarantee you will feel a whole lot less stressed at the end of it. Because it just loosens you out and relaxes the snot out of you. Not literally, because that would be kind of weird, but I always did it when I was flying back home, because I always got stressed, because like the flight was at basically 10 at night, so it was the last flight out of Newcastle. So I was spent the entire day stressing, left for the airport at about 6 or 7, spent an hour on the metro and was in the airport for an hour or so, 2 hours before the flight. Of course checked in because it was checked in online because Ryanair. So I always had time to just chill and relax and have just time. Those chairs roll over China, awesome. They are so good. Like the ones where you just throw a coin in and then these bobbles at the back just do their thing. They are so nice, but the first time you try it, it is so unnerving. Because the chair is moving around underneath you constantly. And then you realize that, hang on, this is really nice, and it's taking like all of the knots out of my back. And my back isn't sore right now. Like that's the kind of massage that you want from a chair, from like a robo chair. I do genuinely like talking about airports, by the way, because, like, while I've not got massive experience with being in various ones, I do have my favourite, which is Cork, because it's such a small airport that, like, you go through check-in and arrival and departures, and you're in the departure lounge, and it's just one big hall. One long hall with coffee shops and whatnot, and, like, I know a couple of people who work there, so I got some slight special treatment when I was flying through. You think that map is the one? I'll check admin now. Did you tag me? No, you didn't. The 90s map, you think that's... Well, who messaged... Why is there... Who pinged me? Who did a pingle? I was left-handed. 2 o'clock, which I'm sure I already looked at. I went slightly off straight there, I think. Only slightly. I think that map, like, I saw it today, and I was like, oh, that's suddenly that's piqued my interest greatly. Have I been to either of the Belfast airports? No, the only time I've been to Belfast for travel was... I'm just going to move this because I want to sit back a bit. The only time I've been to Belfast for travel onwards was through the port of Belfast, the Stena Line terminal there, to Stranraer and then later Cairnryan. So I've never been to the airports there, but the port is quite nice. The port is quite nice-ish. As ports go, it's okay. Can't really, like, ferry terminals tend not to be very interesting, unfortunately. Because it's just a building. It's just a building with a giant empty space for a boat beside it. At least airports you can watch planes land and stuff. Vistara is taking on its first streamliner. It's the first in India. Very nice. Oh, Alex, remind me later to send you a Twitter account that you might be interested in. It's a guy who follows a lot of flights, an aviation journalist, and he tends to tweet out when there's, like, interesting stuff happening. So I tend to find out about a lot of, like, in-flight emergencies and weird stuff happening with planes. Fire service, man, the airport fire trucks. Oh yeah, the airport fire services, the trucks they have are insane. Because, I mean, obviously, airports generally only tend to have, like, one fire station. even I think Heathrow only has the one fire station. Boston and some of the bigger one, or yeah, Boston Logan I think has 2. Denver I think has 3, but there tends to not be too much of a fire service because it's pretty rare to get a fire in an airport. Hello Steve, how's it going? It's pretty rare to get fires in airports, so they don't need massive city-sized fire services. Even though some of the airports are city-sized. So they just have these massive trucks instead. I'm gonna be honest, there's not as much canola coming out of this field as I kind of anticipated. I was hoping for a lot more. Oh, good to hear, Steve. I was hoping for more canola than I'm getting, which is simultaneously like disappointing but also not surprising. Because I know canola yield, even at the best of times, isn't huge. And I didn't get this field up to 100% fertile, so... upside is we can get slurry down in this field again fairly quickly. And if we're lucky with a great demand... Next year you get to go airside, the fire station with the cadets for first aid and BA courses. Nice! What airport are you going to go airside with? Or at? Because like different airports will have slightly different procedures and obviously very different layouts. Because I'd love to go airside in Dublin Airport and like watch, like have a ride around with ops one day. That'd be like my ideal day out, is just riding around with ops at Dublin Airport. Airside, that'd be super amazingly cool, but I wouldn't even know where to begin organising that. Hey Kirk, how's it going, dude? Cork Airport I think would be kind of boring. Shannon would be really cool, because Shannon gets like the 7-4s and the Air Force flights come in. Yes, Air Force and whatnot, so that'd be a really cool place to go airside. Because Shannon's kind of slowly becoming like a cargo hub. I think that'd be the ideal way to bring Shannon Airport in the future, is more of a cargo hub and less of a passenger port. Doing good, Kirk? Good to hear. Like, I think if Shannon went the same way as East Midlands, they'd be well in the money, because they can take 7-4s in there. Fully loaded, fully fueled, fully everything. You're back from sharing the stream, but most of the chat doing the same. I shared the stream today for once. Because the bot didn't do it for me. Except whatever bot I used to do that didn't work today, so... I had to do it manually, which was frustrating. But we are nearly finished with this field, which... kind of surprised by, but at the same time not. Combine's nearly full though. So I was going to come back down the near side here. I'll come back down the far side so they can bring the trailer in beside it without anybody complaining about me driving over crops. And then once we get that done, we will all that needs to be done after this is mowing field 5. Not field 5, field 2. Hey Aaron. And I think the next field purchase is going to be the field 4. And I will immediately just plough that up into a crop field. You'd like to thank me? I hope you know. I don't know what you're on about, but you're welcome all the same. I don't do things for... I do things because I think they're the right thing to do. I'm doing good. Some of the things I've done that I think are the right thing to do aren't the most popular decisions I've made, but I always have a reason, and it's usually especially with the less popular decisions. It's usually very selfish reasons when they're less popular. Right. Let's trying to make a decision on what to do next. Let's hold off because I want the deer on the front of the mower again. What airport are you going airside at, Foxtrot? Because, like, I'd love to go airside with, like, ops at Dublin, or even Heathrow would be awesome, but Dublin would be a bit more accessible and less costly. Cork could also be cool. Shannon would be probably the coolest of the three, because the, 747s do land in Shannon. Although, like, I'd love to go airside in Knock, Ireland West Airport, in Knock, on a day that they're taking in an A380. Because I'd love to be a fly on the wall on how the hell they can organise that. Or possibly both. And that'd be pretty cool. You'd be able to see two different sets of systems, because every airport has a slightly different system the way, of how they do things. So going airside and in two different places it would actually be beneficial. Because a fun fact related to the A380s now landing in Ireland West Airport Knock for scrappage. The A380, the Airbus A380, in active service, as in like with passengers and fuel and whatnot, cannot land in Ireland. They might be able to land in Shannon actually, but it cannot land in Dublin. It cannot land in Cork. It cannot land in Ireland West Airport and Knock. But empty, and that thing will be running min fuel into Ireland West Airport and then max everything to get it stopped. It's just light enough to get in, apparently, as empty as humanly possible. I would imagine it doesn't even have seats in it when it's landing there. Just to cut the weight as much as they can, because Knock Airport doesn't have a very long runway. Another reason the A380 doesn't land in Ireland is there's just not enough people here to justify an A380 service. Because if you want to get an A380 service, you fly to London first. Or Manchester, or somewhere in the UK where there's more people flying more places, and it's more of a hub. And they have the money to put in the infrastructure to deal with an A380, like reinforcing taxiways, etc. Dublin Airport doesn't have that money. No Irish airport does. Which is why I complained about the A380 on this map. Hey David, how's it going today, dude? This is what happens when an AvGeek plays Farm Sim and there's like something that's blatantly wrong with, with what is up with the okay, there was one cloud there that was just like a line. There's something blatantly wrong with like aviation stuff on a map and it's like, this isn't correct for these 73,000 reasons. Although bright side, I can get good through X-Plane. Oddly, can get good reference noises and stuff if a map maker needs it. As an example, can't wait to go to James Arthur and leaving. Nice. As an example, I'm doing good. I'm pretty good. I need to get a lot of work done for the rest of the evening. I've started on my second of now 4 refill pads. What was formerly the spare refill pad I'm now using. I've burned through the first one, not in record time, because there were periods where I just didn't do anything. But I went through definitely the second half of that one in like a week. So I'm anticipating like needing to go down to buy new refill pads a lot more often than I initially thought. That said, once I'm done with the initial note taking, I won't actually need the refill pad all that much for the remainder of the pre-video prep work for that science video, so it might level out over time. It'll definitely reduce as I get more reference things done. What am I writing? Notes. Notes for a video for the science channel. The first video, hence why it's like insane numbers of pages. Because I'm writing up reference materials that I can use at a later date. Excuse me, could you oh, you were unfolding. Go go Power Rangers. No, that was the wrong button combination. Oxy might just put the A380 because he knew it would annoy me. That is distinctly possible. Oct, not oct. Oxy doing something just to annoy me is distinctly possible because he does have a history of doing that with Landy. Historically, when Landy was like previewing maps for him and streaming them, he would intentionally move sheds so that Landy would need to move like half of his equipment, just to be inconvenient. When in season should you buy animals? When you have the money to buy them. A lot of what animals do now is age related as opposed to directly seasons related. So whenever you can buy animals, buy them. I would suggest, if you're buying cows, to buy them as early in the save as you can, because they need to be 3 years old to start producing anything, including calves. And then they really kick up a notch once they hit that age. The downside of cows is the older they get, and I'm presuming it's the same for all animals, the older they get, the more food they require, so that they become more you start becoming more task saturated and actually needing more equipment and more food for them as time goes on. If Steve's had a few messages regarding courseplay and seasons together playing ups, not map issues. Do courseplay and seasons interact badly? I've rarely, if ever, had issues with that mod combination, but I can totally see how they could cause issues together. How long before somebody says I need a front mower? And I need to go through the entire speech of why I don't need a front mower again. Apparently so, you've had 5 messages. You've had none. Steve, I would say just double check. If you can, what their issue exactly is and how they produced that issue. It might be that they've done something incredibly stupid and it's their fault. It could actually be that they found a rare bug with the map itself. Because sometimes maps behave weirdly. Need from her. Thank you, David. I'm not going through the speech for you. I don't go through the speech if I know it's a joke. But yeah, Steve, it could be a map issue that is just rare, and it's useful to know that it's a rare occurrence, and that you're at least aware of it. Whether or not it's fixable would be another matter. Hello, Carturix. No, I don't. Also, Cart, have a look at the 90s Eastern European map that went up today. Alex reckons that might be a very strong contender to go on the server. As do I. There is water on it, so there is slight concern, but if it's non-drownable, then I see no reason why not. You know the speech. Speech aside, I genuinely just prefer using like a rear offset mower like this anyway. This field bales. No, this field's also going to be silage. We have excessive amounts of hay bales, and if I do need hay bales, I can get them in the autumn. Because we've got like 4 grass fields now. So there's no concerns about, like, I've dropped all concerns about having enough of grass-based materials now that we've got 4 fields. The next field I'm likely to buy is field 4, and I'll plow that into a crop field to add to the rotation. I'll probably, in fact, start that field off with oats to get into the rotation. Damn it, DK, thank you for the $1.99. Hi, give me your hay. No. My hay is not for sale, and it'll cost a hell of a lot more than $2.
Give me your hay.
I forgot about the voice. That voice always unnerves me because I keep forgetting about it. I'm also surprised that nobody's managed to abuse the voice yet. Thank you very much for the $2, though. It is super appreciated. How much silage do I have? 500,000. I think I've got slightly over 500k in total across both pits that I'm using. But Dave somehow managed to flip the Profi Hopper. He's mowing the grass on the side of the bridge by the shop. The only way out is along the bank of the stream. GG? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a fun place to mow if you're using, like, a self-propelled. Yeah, I had that issue in 17. That's why I kind of stop up at a random point near the stream now. Hello, Adiboo. How's it going today, dude? DK loving life. I'm enjoying, like, things a lot more lately. Possibly because I'm drinking a hell of a lot more tea. I've gone from like 1 cup of tea a day to between 3 and 5, depending on how I'm feeling and how quickly I go through an individual cup. Got yourself a motorbike, so I've been cruising. Very nice, Adiboo. Also, I've been, like, getting work done. I've been productive. Vaguely. You're now getting the digger for a rescue mission. I'm trying to think how I got that out. Got your car at 15, got the new wiper blades in yesterday. Very nice, damn it. I'm 28 and I still don't even have a driving license, so... I have driven, though. On several occasions. But I'm not overly... Well, I am fussed about getting a driver's license, but I'm not rushing it. Because I can't afford to. I do not have the finances. Plus, even if I did, it wouldn't make much of a difference for my situation right now, because most jobs, which is what I'm looking for, as some of you might know, looking for work. Most jobs require you to have a full license for like 2 years. So, I'd be 31 before I could even start applying to those jobs. This age thing. I feel old at 28. I spent too much money on RAM. Actually, I got really cheap RAM. I got 32 gigs because, number one, I wanted excessive RAM so that I wouldn't need to buy new RAM anytime soon. And two, it was fairly cheap. Kind of work in particular, something to do with my degree. At this point, I'd do anything that pays and is, like, relatively near me. How much was 32 gigs? Like €50 or so. It was, like, I bought it on offer. It was on special offer a couple of years back, so. I've got silly amounts of RAM. On Newegg, this PC, I think, was entirely built on Newegg, yeah. How much size do I have? I think over 500k total, currently. That's before this field comes in. Wait till I get to the kind side of 40. I mean, I'm hoping I'll have a job by then, Steve. The problem is, all of my at this age comments are based on, hey, I'm 28 and I've been basically unemployed for my entire life. It's not a good situation to be in. It's a situation where I don't know how easy or difficult it will be to actually find work. Of any description. Landy got lucky because he has skills that are transferable. It's not easy to get work nowadays. Yeah, I know, especially where I am. Like most of the jobs that I see on the various job sites are like, relocate to China. No, I'm not moving to China. Especially not to teach English as a second language. But I mean, if I have to, I have to, I guess. There'll come a point where I become so desperate that I'll take one of the Chinese jobs. And have to learn Chinese, probably. Chinese is apparently one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn, so if it came to that, I would not be very happy. I struggle enough with it as a first language, I know. Imagine me trying to learn Chinese. Seems to you that I'm just too lazy at work and sit inside all day. Seems to me that you're an ass who just wants to crap on people, and that's how you get your kicks. You don't know what my situation is, so don't comment on it. Of IT skills? I mean, not really. I can build PCs. That's not really IT skills. I troubleshoot via Google. I'm not actually good with computers. Like, if I run into an issue with my computer, I bring out my phone and Google what the problem is. Sometimes I'll find a fix, sometimes I've got to invent one. So, I mean, the secondary issue is, a lot of the IT jobs require you to have a formal training and a formal qualification. Thank you, Kurt. Did you just hear a sound effect for someone getting banned? I may or may not have a Call of the Mods sound effect, yes. It's better than me straight up asking, because it's just, I need to just press a button. And it's so out of the ordinary for the stream that the mods realize what's going on immediately. Also, I mean, it's subtle enough that it doesn't set off the trolls too badly. Because if they know they're going to get banned, they'll get set off even worse. That deserves a massive like spike. What, for me deciding on a random sound effect being, hey mods, could you come into chat please? That said, a like spike would counter the inevitable dislike spike because that guy has like 17 accounts. Because I think I know who it is. Whoops, sorry to worker. Yeah, I like the humor of it. I mean, it's even better for any of the mods that are wrestling fans, because they realize what the sound actually is. There's a logic behind the sound, but it's only apparent to wrestling fans. Because it's not just a random sound. I haven't guessed the center of this field right at all. Good lord, I've got this horribly wrong. That said, John Deere is working pretty... Oh, I've hired a worker again. And again. Oh, someone in chat is laughing hard as their exciting sound. Not really. I tend to not try and... The Undertaker? Ah, Eddie Boo's figured it out. Like I said, there's a logic behind it. Even though I'm done with WWE as a company. Well, I'm done with WWE main roster. NXT still has some goodwill remaining. You knew it sounded familiar. Yes. But I'm legitimately like probably gonna watch maybe 2 matches of WrestleMania this year, and I'm openly gonna say I'm gonna watch a pirate stream because I ain't giving that company my money. Not with the crap they keep pulling to troll the, like to actively troll the fans. They don't deserve my money. Oh hey, we know that you like The Fiend and all, but Goldberg's like 53, and we think he'd be a suitable champion. No. I actually love the way they're mowing. I mean, this is the way that it's pretty much done in real life. So... Oops. Do I have that set up right? I did. It's pretty satisfying to watch. It's satisfying to do. Because, like, there's not a whole lot of effort, and you get a really nice result. And it looks neat. It looks like I know what I'm doing. WWE's got so boring. Main roster has. NXT still has goodwill. Or my goodwill, at least. AEW, I think, is, up... Like, AEW and NXT, it sucks they're on at the same time. I don't watch them live anymore, because screw staying up till, like, 4 AM. No. But, they kind of have my goodwill. You gonna take a night off mapping and actually play it tonight in mowing time? Yeah, use this mower, Steve. It is... like, legitimately one of the best mowers that is in Farm Sim. For the square, it's split into 3, so there's another big time gap of not mowing or mowing to the other side. Everyone does it differently. Yeah, I mean, there's as many ways to mow as there are fields to mow. So... bring back... I don't mind them bringing back Taker for, like, a showcase match, which is what it's going to be against AJ. That's fine. That's... totally fine for WrestleMania, but Goldberg as a champion? No, he's 53. What are they going to do in, you know, 15 years' time when all the nostalgia acts from the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras physically can't wrestle anymore? What are they going to do? They'll have no more nostalgia acts. The only one they might have is Cena. Is it more 10 tons like it's 17? No, it doesn't feel like it is. It feels like it's a much more logical weight. Because, like, I'm mowing on a slope, it's not sliding down like it did in 17. It feels a lot better behind the tractor. If it was as frustrating as I found it in 17, I wouldn't use it. CD has clearly revisited this and addressed, I guess, the concern I had, but I'm sure others had the same concern with this more. But he's addressed what I felt was the biggest issue with it, which was the weight issue that it did have in 17, and it is much 10 times better now. So the brakes on it in the XMLs is put to 0. The issue was never the brakes, it was that the actual mower had... It was, the density was set really high, and CD gave a reason for it, but I never agreed with that reason. But now in 19, it is the mower that I felt it should have been in the first place. I know that I'm not a modder, but I play enough of the damn game to be able to critique mods. Sometimes I do it badly and just crap on mods, but I always try and find things that could be improved and talk about things that I think are good. The one thing that I think could be improved is the visual. This is gonna sound really nitpicky, because it is really nitpicky, and I'll show you in a second. There's a visual cue for what setting you got the mower in. So this is obviously swath to the left. This is swath deposit. This is flat deposit. I feel like the difference between these two could be increased. Swath to the left is obviously going to be really nice, but swath and flat deposit, I feel there could be a bigger visual cue difference there. Just for ease of knowing what mode the mower's in, because sometimes I put it into flat deposit by mistake, because the visual cue is very subtle. And I mean, if that's the issue I have with the mod, it's a non-issue. If that's the biggest issue I have and the biggest criticism I have, it's not a huge issue at all. It's just kind of a, this would be nice as a quality of life difference with this mod kind of thing. I think at this point CD knows that when it's just a preference. Yeah, it's a quality of life thing more than like a major issue. How do you do this? Did you buy it from Giants? If so, hey Glory Vocus. If you bought it from Giants, go on to like where you download mods. At the top of the page there'll be a big button that says updates. Hit that, hit class DLC version 1.2. You'll need your class DLC key, your Platinum DLC key, and once you input that, you'll be given the you'll be given the download links.
Dave just fished your bales.
Fish? Did you mean to say fish? Like, what was fish an intentional thing what you said, or did you mean something else? Because I feel like you meant finish. But with the weirdness that happens in this chat, it's very difficult to know. Very difficult to know the weirdness the chat decides to take on from time to time. Shut it and finish my bales. I'm allowed to critique mods. CD knows that I try and give, especially with his stuff, honest feedback, whether or not he likes it. And whether or not he agrees. Because, yeah, the mower's still actually running then. Go into the water and fish my bales. You bought it on Steam? Ah, never mind then. And your Irish oral today was horrible. Oh, Irish oral is never fun. Because you keep forgetting words. I forgot the word for, I think it was lamb. Or sheep. And I just said sheep instead of one. Perhaps not what damn it meant. Yeah, I don't know what damn it meant. I'll just accept what damn it said as like words that happened. Church bells AC/DC. It can be whatever you want it to be. It has a specific meaning. That's all that matters. Thank you, Cart. I can't remember. There was something or other that I was talking about that I ended up talking about sheep. Remember, this was like... Cart, you did the wrong person. That was the wrong person, Cart. Damn it, it's fine. Damn it, I apologize on behalf of Carturix, who did a stupid. You know, it's been a while since I've done one myself, hasn't it? bear with one moment. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey, didn't misclick. And now I've hidden everything. Ah, dang it. This is why I don't usually do it myself. Fix that. Fix that. It was only yeah, there's the problem with the timeout is there's no way to undo one. I wish YouTube had a way of untiming people out, because it used to be that you could just use bans to do it, but that no longer works. Yes, there was a period where we'd intentionally ban people for like 2 seconds to get rid of timeouts, because they'd overwrote timeouts, but no, they fixed that bug, even though it was a useful bug. You're gonna do the other... You mean the one that I did? Yeah, the one that I did was the one that I meant. Fun fact, I can tell within about 5 seconds if somebody's just gonna try and be a troll. Yeah, damn it, sorry that you got timed out. We'll call it a misclick. We'll call it a misclick on Cart's part. He's not perfect. Do you know what really sucks? Is there, like... It's funny, but it sucks at the same time. If you're timed out, you can't even send super chats. Like, you can't give YouTube money if you're timed out in the chat. One of the molars is falling apart in here. Dude, go see a dentist. Testing the map at the same time. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. Mistakes happen, and I mean, that's why I've got the sound effect, is just to alert you that there's something that I'd like you to have a look at in chat. Usually that I'd like some action taken about it as well, but... it's pretty common that accidental timeouts happen. When we're trying to deal with something. Because, I mean, misclicks are easy. Also, I don't screw about. If I tab out a game, somebody's getting banned. I don't hand out timeouts in when I'm streaming. You're sick. You've missed 2, like, is it 2 now? Bans. Thanks for the ITD. What? What did I do? I did it. What did I apparently do now? Try not option. It is, James. Totally. I miss Proceed. Like, that was one of my favorite mods in 17. I can only wish that a modder who knows how to code would bring that back, because that was one of the best mods. Internet transmitted. I've not been sick in like 2 months now. No, like a month. I've not been sick for literally some number of weeks. So, not my fault. I have run out of tea. Disasters have happened. Hey, Henry, how's it going today, dude? Hayden, if you have the like any of the flight factor planes, the 320, 75, and 76, they all have beta updates. If you want to give them a try. I'm doing good, Henry. And RN Agri, hello. How's it going? You missed internet coronavirus. You missed the canola harvest. I actually was in the combine earlier on the stream. Had my tea yet? I've had 2 cups of tea. But no, I've not had my tea yet. Though I can smell it. It smells delicious. Steak and chips, delicious tea. I also think I smell gravy, which is even better. It's all a bit, but you're feeding calves. I mean, that happens. Hey, Jim Bob. How's it going today, dude? Irish steak? We only get Irish meat. It's much easier to get Irish steak in Ireland than anywhere outside Paris. Actually, even Paris is quite difficult because it's, like, supposedly some of the best steak in the world. I don't know, I'm used to it. I'm just like, it's delicious steak. I don't know about quality compared to other countries' steak because I've never had steak in another country. It's just occurred to me. I lived in the UK for 3 years, never had steak. No, I did, but I miscooked it. Waiting for new updates for 320, 75, and 76. Oh! Have Life Factor confirmed they're making Neos? I like mine cooked, in general. I accidentally cooked I was cooking steak myself, medium rare, and it was disgusting. But well, actually more rare than medium. I undercooked it massively. But I'll eat steak anywhere from like medium rare to well done. Tesco Meat Feast pizza, that is a nice pizza, to be fair. I didn't know Fly Factor were working on Neos. So that is news to me, Hayden. Right, that's 53,000 litres. Oh god. We're gonna have a silly amount of silage at the end of this. Oh boy. We can get a rough silage count though once we get up to the yard. Aldi's finest Carol's pizzas. Aldi pizzas are really nice. I think Aldi pizzas are better than Tesco pizzas. One's currently out there taking the engines from the jar and the winglets from the Tullus. Oh god, jar engines, no. But are there like official Neos coming out? Has that been confirmed by Flight Factor themselves? Goodfellas overpriced. Any brand is overpriced, aren't I agree? No. So there's no guarantee that you will get the Neo. Ever. Officially. But you're hoping. Right, so we have how much in this pit currently? 313,000 plus... It's gonna be 360 odd thousand. So I own the jar and the Solus. Ah. I don't know if I want to buy... Like, I don't want to buy a second A320 for X-Plane. Mainly because I'm going to be transferring over to Flight Sim. So that's 360,000 plus... 125,000, which makes 485,000, basically 500,000 litres of silage. Oh, what's O? Is OMD11? So is A31. Yeah, but it's too expensive for my liking. Hey, CD. I can't... Unless they're going to give a discount for people who already own the A319, I can't justify the price of the 321. With the way that my financials are at the moment, specifically. Plus the fact that, I mean, I've got a 19 and a 20 already. I don't know if I've got an extra need for 21. There's like a list of reasons. And the whole imminent transfer over to MSFS whenever that comes out. Or whenever that's legal and above board to stream. Because like as soon as I get notification that that's above board to do content with, I will be doing content with it. Although I am planning on, like, here's the silly thing, I'm planning on buying 2 new flight sims. One is going to be for very small GA bush flight in the form of dead stick, which yes please, and the other is going to be for the, well, for I guess less small bush flight. Well, less small GA, because and my commercial boys, in the form of MSFS, which I'm really hoping. Like, I know Dead Stick will have a career mode. I'm hoping MSFS. BSS sounds apparently included with purchase. Yeah, I mean that's some of the price logic that's going on. Is like it has all the BSS sounds already and all the little add-ons you can buy. As stock, but I don't know if I can justify the price. I may end up buying it and... Oh, wait! Wait, hang on. The Tolus 321. You can turn that into a 21 XLR, can't you? They said something about it, like, having files for XLR configs. Because if that's the case, then yes. Kinda? What do you mean, kinda? Because if you can do some sort of convert to it that turns it to an XLR, I'm gonna do transatlantic flights in a 321. There's gonna be a lot of people in 321s doing the across the pond westbound this year, I think. Actually, across the pond in general. I think that there will also, courtesy of is it Aerosoft to make it? 319 Neo is expected to be in. Ooh. There's gonna across the pond is gonna be hilarious because there'll be a butt ton of A330s and a butt ton of A321s. I don't think there'll be as many. There'll still be a lot, but I don't think there'll be as many 777s and 78s and 74s going across this year as there have been traditionally. Because traditionally across the pond was just like, everybody grab a 7.4 and let's go. Although, that is something that I would love to do well, on one event is across the pond. And stream it in 074s. There will not be 074s doing across the pond. The Lufthansa group will do 7.4s. There will be a group flying to Germany in 7.4s, guaranteed. And a group flying to Heathrow in 7.4s. ABMX trick. Airplane is a different language. It's just knowing codes. It's just knowing aircraft codes are in Agri. Like the Lufthansa guys, they've got the 748 now, so I think you'll see a lot of guys doing 748 flights at decent sized group doing 330s. The BA boys will be doing 744s still. Although some will have 748s because reasons. Yeah, a group of 7.6s because FedEx. Yes, but Qantas tend not to go transatlantic from the US. Oh, no, westbound. From Europe to the best long haul plane and next plane. You genuinely believe that about the 748? I always... Were you flying V1 or V2? Out of curiosity, because V1 I always had kind of... There were niggly issues with it that annoyed me. Though it was very enjoyable to fly long haul. The couple of times I did it. V2. Ah, they must have made big improvements, because V2... Though a couple of occasions I flew that, it was short haul. And I know they fixed the biggest issue I had, which was you couldn't do airways. It would just do directs. So you'd have to program in every individual waypoint. V211. Yeah, I need to update my 7.4 to V2. Or V2.1 even. With the coronavirus in Ireland, on the island, as far as I'm aware, it's just one individual up north. Although, potentially quite a lot more because there was a plane involved in Dublin Airport and possibly some public transport, but it's not the end of the world. COVID-19 is not the end of the world. It will not be the end of the world. It's... People blow that way out of proportion. Hey Derp and Sylvan. Eric, cycle updates are still broken. Ah! I hate it when they won't update the ARACs. Only got 1 year so far. I would anticipate it going up to... Like, depending on how infectious the person was and what happened, etc. I mean, it could be a few dozen in Ireland fairly shortly, because infectivity. But, like, it's not going to be everybody suddenly has coronavirus or COVID-19. And even at that, even if everybody did, you'd find that 90-odd% of people would be perfectly fine. Do I support Limerick? No. Tipperary. And Cork. To a certain extent. Cork and football. Although Tip footballers are starting to actually realise that they can play football, so... I may end up not needing my backup team anymore. Only Limerick team I support is Munster. Munster Rugby. Come on, don't bury the big. Please don't bury that, because I need that now. COVID-19 has not been around for a long time. It has... The initial emergence was in December of 2019. It has not been around for a long time yet. Coronaviruses in general, coronavirus, have been around for a while. But COVID-19, SARS-2 coronavirus strain has not been around very long. Or at least not known very long. It might have been around... No, it would know. When it was discovered, it was fairly soon after it went into humans. Spoiler alert for the Science Channel video I'm working on. It's actually a genomic analysis of COVID-19 from January of this year. I'm going through a paper. Yeah, coronavirus as a whole have been known for ages. SARS was a coronavirus back in 2002. MERS was a coronavirus, etc. But COVID-19 was only... It only actually came into humans in very likely between the 23rd and 27th of December. That kind of period of last year. Through an animal at the market in is it Wuhan? We're not going to mention it's the art piece. It's the art combine. It's fine. We always mention the Dominator. It's my it's an art piece that I keep on the farm. It's literally been there since December. Because it landed like that and I can't really be bothered fixing it, and I find it hilarious. Fun fact, if you accidentally drive a Dominator off the end of this silage pit, it does that. And just lands perfectly vertical. This action cannot be performed here. Yes, it can. You're lying to me, game. Right. Can I get this up to... Oh, God. This was at 400... We're over 500,000 litres of silage. It wasn't through specifically a fish market. It was through what's called the seafood market, but it did sell, like, non-seafood stuff. So it's pretty likely... Because the virus did originate most likely in bats. Very likely, and anticipated that it was something that got infected by either straight up eating a bat that was infected, or eating something that had been pooped on by a bat that was infected. Marvel update coming today for console. I don't know. I heard it was on PC, but... It should go without saying at this point, because I never know what's on console. I don't know what's on console. Growing sick of it is like Brexit all over again. I mean, it's a serious situation, but it's not as serious as the news might have you believe. It's they're finding something to panic about, so they're panicking about it. Like, the concern would come when it starts properly mutating, and so far it doesn't seem to have done that. It seems to be mostly the same as it was in December. We do not talk about politics, Brendan. That is a no-no subject. Because that starts arguments, and arguments are nasty. I'll talk about viruses and I'll talk about, like, medical stuff and complain about that because I literally have a degree in it. Which is how I'm able to know, well, how I'm able to read the blooming scientific article about COVID-19 and the genomics of it. The politics channel is gone, Aaron. The forbidden meme I posted is gold. The one about advertising, you mean? SARS or COVID? SARS as is, though COVID is likely to overtake. Yes. Anyone want a coffee? I want more tea. That's Dominator abuse? It's not Dominator abuse. It's art. It's showing the fragility of farming equipment in the 21st century. Submitted to the tape modern immediately. Yes. Now we need to call Dominator Services on you. I mean, it's just as much art as a banana duct taped to a wall is, so... If a banana duct taped to a wall is art, then a Dominator parked vertically on a farm sim map is art. That's my logic. Get a Lexion 600 with tracks? No! That doesn't fit my vision for this map. Oh, nuts, I've broken the tip call. I see you out there, bit of chaff. You've been to the Tape Manor? I've never been, nor do I really want to. I prefer traditional art. I'd like to go see the, up to the is it the National History Museum in Ireland? The National Gallery, and see the Caravaggio that we have up here, up there. But, I am not a fan of modern art. Because it's just, like, there's literally a guy who pees on things and calls it art. It's like, no. That's not art, that's you peeing on things. Though I will say the solid gold toilet that somebody made for Donald Trump was particularly hilarious. Oh, it wasn't even for Donald Trump, was it? Somebody made a solid gold toilet and put it in one of the royal bathrooms in the UK as a joke. And apparently somebody pooped in the toilet and they got very upset. When it was on display somewhere, somebody used the solid gold toilet and everybody got very upset because the toilet had been used. There's a man... Oh, God. You know, I'm disappointed but not surprised. It's one of those situations where it's like, of course there is. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed in humanity. And faith is decreasing daily. There has to be something. It had to be. Purchase of A321 complete. I require a review. Also, I know Joe on the 319. Was there a discount for the 21? I doubt it, but I mean, it's the question worth asking. I mean, yeah, he might have been to Penn Island. I think it's .com, might be .net. Penn Island, the website. Real website, by the way. Just, they maybe should have put a hyphen in there. In fact, they really should have put a hyphen in there. They do sell nice pens, though. I'd recommend nobody puts that in Google. Yeah, don't try Googling it. I found it on like useless sites many years ago. So I don't know if that website even still exists or if it's been taken over to more accurately reflect what the name looks like. Why did I have to suggest that? I mean, Hayden should Google it. Hayden can Google for all. Does Penn Island still exist? As a website. There was also... I remember some of these because they had just the most unfortunate names. There was also Therapist Finder. Again, could have done with a hyphen or two. You know, that's another name that could have done with some hyphenation. I think one of them was called Kids Exchange. Again, hyphens are useful. It still exists, but you didn't find any pens to buy. Oh. I wonder if Pointless Sites still exists. It's been many years since I've tried going on there. Might try tonight when I'm bored. I might also have a look at my bank account and see if I can justify the A321. Because it's tempting, but at the same time not. Like, if it's as good as the 319, which would be my hope, or actually better than the 319, I know that's asking a lot from Tolas, but I would hope that it's better than the 319 for the price they're asking. Then maybe. Have I looked at Shamrock Valley? No, I don't revisit old maps when they come into new games. I did once and I hated it, so I don't do it anymore. Because, like, nostalgia's great. I'm not going to knock nostalgia. But Giants maps are made to suit the game that they're made for. And they don't tend to work very well in newer versions. Unless they get, like, major redos from the modder, and apparently Goldcrest, from what I've heard, has some issues. I don't know how true those allegations are, but I've heard that it has some issues. Fly Factor A350 update in April. I mean, that's one that I'd be interested in getting, because kind of description is lacking. Yeah. I straight up don't want to look at bad maps because they make me angry. Because quite often you can see the potential that a map has if it's bad. And it's like, you wasted all of this potential. This could have been a really great map, and it isn't, and it's all your fault, and you should be better. But you're not. And I get angry when I see a map that's lacking and disappointing. Especially, like, when it's a convert of a Giants map, because they always have, like, a lot of potential with the right tweaks. And they could be really spectacular. Hayden, you're insane. Thank you. However, that won't get to me until, like, the middle of March at the very earliest, maybe April. So that doesn't change the fact that I need to check my bank account, my PayPal account.
Take this and go get the Tullis A321.
Holy cow, it actually knows how to say 321. I was expecting it to say 321. But I'll still have to review bank accounts and stuff. And PayPal. I think I should have enough to get the 321. It's just making sure, because I know Navigraph paid up the yesterday or the day before. And that would be the failure point for me. The joy of the 321, though, is that it is just an extended 320. It's the joy of Airbus. Is basically all of their planes have the same system. Or the same flight deck, so If you can fly one Airbus, you can fly all of them except the 350 and 380, I believe. If you can fly a 320, you can fly a 318, 319, 320, 321, 330. 340 might be different as well. And the 300 and 310 might also be different, come to think of it, but you can fly the majority of Airbuses if you know how to fly a 320. Whereas if you know how to fly a Boeing 737, you know how to fly a Boeing 737. Everything else is weird because Boeing make every plane individually different. Current thoughts on Flight Sim 2020? I can't go into much detail, Derp, because I have the alpha, so I have much more thoughts than I can give due to NDA. NDA friendly thoughts. I'll be buying it as soon as is humanly possible. I can't give any details on my full. Yeah, I can't give any details of the alpha. Like, all I can talk about really is stuff that they've posted publicly, and everything they've posted publicly sells me more and more, like, week by week. Like, except this week's update. This week's update was kind of a nothing burger. But whenever they bring out a new feature discovery, etc., it is, like, it sells me on the game again. Oh, the 340 has a common flight deck too? Wow. Yeah, 350 and 380 are different. The 310, I think, is different. The 300 and 310 are different too. And so there's a lot of build up and a lot to let down, if that makes sense. I mean, NDA friendly thoughts. With zero detail, I will be buying it as soon as I can. 310 is common with 320, 300 is not. Ah! You love the NDA details. Yeah, literally NDA is just like, do not talk about anything you see in this alpha. Everything you see is covered by NDA. Everything! But I would say, Derp, look at the website and look at the pictures that have been posted from the alpha. They're the ones that have the really light pink names on them and a name in white kind of overlaid over the top. If you want to see it in the wild. Like, without Microsoft cherry-picking. It's still kind of cherry-pick, but without as much cherry-picking of, like, this is the absolute best picture we can get here. Yeah, the alpha pictures are a lot more... Oh, wait, this is rented. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. The alpha pictures are a lot more representative than everything else. Still going? I just wanted to finish the silage. Alex, I'm actually just about to finish. I'm just finishing up now. Because I have a lot to do, and dinner will be soon, because I can smell steak, and I can almost definitely smell gravy. And I know there are chips. But I'll be back on Sunday, not tomorrow, but Sunday, assuming that the weather over the weekend doesn't knock out power or internet, because Storm Jorge is coming. I don't think that's something you need to be concerned about. Like, it is something that, like, the hype is insane, but I don't think that it's... Like, it's a game changer. It's Big Daddy Microsoft coming back to flight sims. They changed the industry with FSX. FSX is still, terrifyingly widely used today, 14 years after it initially came out. It's Big Daddy come home. Microsoft know what they're doing with flight sims. They're... I think they invented flight sim as a genre. So it's difficult for them to not deliver. But yeah, that'll do it for today. I'll be back Sunday with multiplayer, probably on the whatever Polish map we decide on. MP admins, tomorrow at about 1 PM my time, maybe a bit later. We will figure out mods and stuff and do a complete server wipe and set the map up. So if you're around then, I would appreciate you helping out. If not, so be it. You won't have any input on what goes into the map immediately. But that'll do it. Oh god, No Man's Sky and the original Spin Tires, yeah, they were letdowns. Later dudes, bye bye.